Lamar Jackson getting traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. Mike, this rumor is going nuts right now.
There's pieces there for this blockbuster deal, right? And it makes sense with Tom Brady and wanting to make the splash. And the Raiders have a lot of money to spend. They have a lot of cap money, so there's not a lot of teams that can pull this off, but the Raiders could.
Well, I know a lot of people are going to look at this rumor and just be like, that's highly unlikely. This is crazy. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But I would urge you to look at how this offseason has started out. We're not even to the Super Bowl yet, and we've seen some of the craziest coaching fires. We've seen all kinds of weird things going on. So I think a lot of teams are looking to reset, and the NFL's changing.
I'm not going to dog on you right now. If I'm a Raiders fan, I don't want to take the chance on Mendoza. I don't.
I think the Raiders would come in and really just kind of shake things up. The Raiders have been bottom feeders for years now. No one even cares.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're looking at them and you're like, Lamar Jackson, Ashton Gillotte, Brock Bowers. Like, what?
But I think that they instantly deplete all their resources. I think that they're done. They're going to give up their number one pick. They would probably give up a number one pick down the road. They're probably giving up a player.
But I also think it could be a good thing for the Chiefs, Mike. You asked how it could affect the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think it could be a good thing because we have to keep evolving. We have to keep getting better. That's kind of what got us in this funk that we were in the 2025 season. Y'all, let's talk about Lamar Jackson getting traded to the Las Vegas Raiders. Mike, this rumor is going nuts right now. And here's pretty much just the breakdown of everything currently fueling that rumor. Real quick, number one, the Baltimore reset. You saw what happened. They got rid of John Harbaugh, all that good stuff. They got some contract leverage, a little bit of a stalemate going on over there. They don't know what they want to do. And Lamar don't know if he wants to be there now that John Harbaugh's gone. Then you're looking at the Raiders, Mike, who, minority owner Tom Brady has reportedly told everybody he's pushing for a big splash this offseason.
Yeah.
Big splash. So the Raiders are in a unique position to be able to facilitate a deal like that because they have the number one overall pick.
Yeah.
And I think that Fernandez is making that very valuable, right? Or I'm sorry, Mendoza.
Yeah.
That's
Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza. I just mixed them together, baby. But that Mendoza factor is definitely going to be huge because there's a lot of guys that want to get their hands on him. And then you look at, just Tom Brady in general can kind of have an influence over quarterbacks, right? I mean, he's considered the GOAT. Everybody looks up to him. They want to talk to him. The Raiders have the financial capability of paying Lamar Jackson, but there's some obstacles, right? There's a no trade clause for Lamar Jackson in his contract with the Ravens. So basically, he's going to choose his destination if he goes somewhere else, right? And then also just that internal opposition. A lot of the people in the Raiders organization think that the number one pick is more valuable than Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson's 29 years old, and you can turn around and get Fernando Mendoza as a rookie, and you're going to have him for a lot longer and a lot cheaper. So what do you think about this entire thing, man? It would be pretty wild. And how do you think it also affects the Chiefs if Lamar Jackson were to come over to the AFC West?
Look, so this rumor got started, basically, Lamar Jackson to the Raiders. It gained some steam because of reports by Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk, and I think Mike Preston from the Baltimore Sun actually had said some stuff about this. And it all predicated on what you said. The Raiders holding the number one overall pick in the 2026 draft, and the Ravens in that reset phase after firing Harbaugh. So there's pieces there for this blockbuster deal, right? And it makes sense with Tom Brady and wanting to make the splash. And the Raiders have a lot of money to spend. They have a lot of cap money, so there's not a lot of teams that can pull this off, but the Raiders could. So let's look at this. I'm going to look at this from a trade logistic cap draft kind of scenario first and foremost. So the price of Lamar Jackson, I think the starting point here would be that they would have to give up the number one overall pick, which basically gives Baltimore a direct shot at Mendoza. I mean, Jackson is a two-time MVP. The Ravens would probably demand more first-round capital. He'd probably have to give up a first and a third
that first
and another
overall
first.
pick. The first overall pick is pretty
I'm saying,
valuable.
though, I think at 29 years old, Patrick Mahomes is 30, and we're talking about how he has 10 more years left. This is a guaranteed two-time MVP in Lamar Jackson that is going to come over, and you don't have to do a rebuild. Fernando Mendoza could be the number one pick, but he could be a bust.
100%. I'm right there with you.
This
you get
guy
you get a win now guy.
Right. And look, if I put myself in a Oakland Raider jersey, old school. If I go Vegas jersey now, I don't want to do it. I don't even want to think about it.
You love calling them Oakland.
Look, if you're a Raiders fan, I'm sorry that I called you Oakland, and I'm sorry that I don't want to be putting your jersey, but as a Chiefs fan, I just don't want to think about it. But I'm not going to dog on you right now. If I'm a Raiders fan, I don't want to take the chance on Mendoza. I don't.
Right.
I watched Mendoza in the national championship game last night, and there were times he looked very inconsistent. Ruben Bain and them were getting after his ass, and there were some times that he looked lost and he was getting beat up, and I don't know if I want that. I would much rather have Lamar Jackson. So if I look at it that way, and now I go back to, well, can the Raiders afford it? Yes. They're projected to have $116 million in cap space. That's the second most in the NFL. They can absorb Lamar's massive $74.5 million cap hit.
That's wild, though. Yeah.
You're right. And I think that they're actually have money to sign him to a record-breaking extension that's probably going to be around $70 million. Don't you think
they would just go ahead and restructure that all out? Because he's in the final 2 years of his contract. And
Absolutely.
Like you said, the cap hit 2026 is $74.5 million. So I think they would try to go ahead and just get something long-term done. If I was them, that's what I would try to do.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of guaranteed money and stuff like that. But, I mean, I'm with you, Mike. I think that if you're the Raiders and you're a Raiders fan, I don't scoff at this whatsoever, because if you go get Lamar Jackson right now, think about this for a second. And it's kind of disgusting as a Chiefs fan to think about the possibilities with the guys I'm about to name. But if you have Lamar Jackson taking snaps in Las Vegas with Ashton Gillotte behind him and Brock Bowers out there as his tight end, who we know that Lamar Jackson loves using tight ends. I mean, look what he did with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely.
Hey, dude, they drafted Beck out of TCU last year.
Jack Besh, Jack
Besh,
absolutely.
I'm sorry, Jack Besh. And they also drafted Deontay Thornton out of Tennessee, who's a burner and had a pretty good season. So you're automatically giving Lamar Jackson some weapons.
Absolutely. And who's to say they couldn't just turn around after they trade out of this and draft another one? I mean, there's a lot of good guys in this draft. So, I mean, dude, I know you have to protect the quarterback, and I understand that the Raiders have had problems with that. But also, Lamar Jackson's a guy, you might not have to have the greatest offensive line for Lamar Jackson to stay alive and make plays happen. Because if we're talking about mobile quarterbacks, he is the most mobile quarterback in the league, hands down. So, I mean, I think this is actually a good fit. If I was a Raiders fan or I was an owner or anywhere in the organization, I would absolutely be thinking about this right now.
Yeah, 100%. Let's look at the impact of what that would have on the AFC West and with this Chiefs team.
Damn, I think already that's getting competitive over here, right?
It's already competitive. Like you mentioned, you've got Bo Nix and Sean Payton, who got a 1 seed this year. You've got Harbaugh, and you've got Justin Herbert. You got old Herbie Hancock over there that's actually got to the playoffs. The Chiefs are monsters. You're going to have, Lamar Jackson there. They would instantly become a huge contender, in my opinion. And so I think it would just be a heavyweight division. It would be monstrous. Now, that would be for the first time, if I recall correctly, in the Mahomes era, that Mahomes would have to face an MVP caliber quarterback twice a year in his own division. Think about that. Yeah. He's never had to do that before. Like, we've had a solid division. They've been building this division right. I think every team has built this division. They went defense first, then they've tried to get to the offense, and they've tried to go get Hall of Fame coaches. You even see the Raiders try that, and then they ended up firing them after a year. So I think that is what that's going to do. I think it's going to make rivalries with the Raiders even more intense with the Chiefs. It's going to be crazy because you've already got one of the most bitter rivals in the AFC, and you're going to add Lamar Jackson to that, which him versus Mahomes is must-watch TV all the time. That would be two of the most anticipated games on the calendar. And then my thing would be Steve Spagnuolo. He's almost been Lamar Jackson's kryptonite, right?
Absolutely, dude.
He's got after him with simulated pressure and disciplined edge setting, which is what he likes to do. And so I think that would be a fun thing to watch, 2 times a year, maybe a third time in the playoffs. It would be a wild addition to the AFC West, to be honest, if you put Lamar Jackson over here.
It would take the AFC West over the top. Like you mentioned, it's a lot more competitive now. And here's the thing. I think that all the teams are going to continue to get better because I think Harbaugh's got, his thumb over that organization right now, and I think he's putting them in the right direction. Now, I don't know if he's ever going to be able to make Justin Herbert not be a choker in the playoffs, the same way a lot of coaches couldn't make Josh Allen not a choker in the playoffs. But if you look at Bo Nix, Mike, I want to talk about him. I honestly don't think Bo Nix can get much better. Now, he can get smarter, he can get more experience, but I don't think physically we don't have to worry about anything else with Bo Nix. We know what he is.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that Denver's not going to continue to put one of the best defenses in football on the field, because that's what they always do.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? They always do that. So as long as they got their game manager and Bo Nix, they're going to be competitive. And then all of a sudden, I think the Raiders would come in and really just kind of shake things up. The Raiders have been bottom feeders for years now. No one even cares. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're looking at them and you're like, Lamar Jackson, Ashton Gillotte, Brock Bowers, like what? Because you're normally worried about their defense with Max Crosby, right?
Yes.
That's what you think about when you think of the Raiders. That would change quick, and I think it would make it really exciting. But I also think it could be a good thing for the Chiefs, Mike. You asked how it could affect the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think it could be a good thing because
the next great touchdown is coming, and you can bet on it. All Chiefed Up has teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook, and just because the regular season has ended doesn't mean the excitement ends. Love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has got you covered. Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. New customers can even turn $5 into $300 if your bet wins, paid in bonus bets. So sign up using our promo code ACU, and again, new customers who bet $5 can turn that into $300 if your bet wins, paid out in bonus bets. With DraftKings, the crown is yours.
We have to keep evolving. We have to keep getting better. That's kind of what got us in this funk that we were in the 2025 season. Is because we didn't move. We stood pat while everybody else was building around us, and we watched it happen. And we can't do that anymore. And I think that you already see with like the additions of Chad O'Shea and then bringing back Eric Bieniemy. I think you see Andy Reid, although keeping things familiar, because you said, he's stubborn and he don't like to go outside the box a lot. But I think you also see him kind of rebuilding that offense in a certain way where we might actually see it look a little bit different next year. So I think he knows he's got to evolve. And if you were to get Lamar Jackson in here with the Raiders, all of a sudden, man, you've really got to step your game up or you're going to get left behind in the AFC West. And with a division like that, that could be a 3 playoff team division. I mean, it honestly could.
Well, I'll tell you this, even if you bring Jackson over to the Raiders, there's a lot of like negatives for the Chiefs, like absolutely a lot of positive for the Raiders. I think you're immediately a win now contender. But I will say there's some silver lining for the Chiefs here. I think that, yes, the Raiders do get better almost immediately, but you've also, on the back end of that, who's been some of our biggest contenders to get to the Super Bowl? It's been the Ravens and the Bills. And the Bills are dissolving, and now the Ravens would dissolve even worse because now they're going to lose their starting quarterback.
After their head coach, they lose their starting quarterback and they have to go with the rookie.
So I think that Raven problems just pretty much dissolves for the next 5-6 years for Patrick Mahomes, unless Mendoza turns into a monster right off the bat. And I mean, what's the odds of that one?
Some other silver lining, before you go to your number 2, I want to throw in some silver lining here. If Lamar Jackson leaves, maybe that heightens the Chiefs' chances of being able to snag Isaiah Likely in free agency because he won't want to be there no more.
That's a great one because that would be a nice pickup for us in the offseason, to be honest.
100%, yeah.
Now, what would suck is if he follows them over and they decide to bring out Brock Bowers and Likely together.
Yeah, I doubt they'll go that route because Likely is going to cost a little bit of money. So
yeah, it's not very likely. Yeah. But okay. Yeah, but here's another silver lining in my opinion. I think that the Raiders, yes, they would instantly become a formidable team, a team that would fight for a playoff spot and should be able to get there, to be honest. But I think that they instantly deplete all their resources. I think that they're done. They're going to give up their number 1 pick. They would probably give up a number 1 pick down the road. They're probably giving up a player to get this. I think you instantly do that. And then not to mention, you're going to have all that money invested at that top-heavy positions. And you're going to have to now go to the draft with limited capital and just go out and draft all these other positions and all these other free agents are going to be just small ball. And you better hope that Lamar can carry you because they're not going to be as a dominant roster top to bottom. It's going to be very top heavy. And you see how sometimes a top-heavy roster like the Chiefs kind of got this year, it felt like it was a good roster, and then down the line, it kind of fell apart a little bit. And then I think another silver lining, again, is the Spags' defensive familiarity. I believe that the way that Spags knows Lamar's tendencies coming out of Baltimore, I think that really the Raiders couldn't really throw elements of surprise at us. I think that we would be very, very prepared for that because we just about play the Baltimore Ravens every single season.
Right. Well, I know a lot of people are going to look at this rumor and just be like, that's highly unlikely. This is crazy. It's not going to happen.
Right.
But I would urge you to look at how this offseason has started out. We're not even to the Super Bowl yet, and we've seen some of the craziest coaching fires. We've seen all kinds of weird things going on. So I think a lot of teams are looking to reset, and the NFL's changing, and it's changing quick. We've noticed that just in a year.
Yeah. Can I give you one more positive for the Chiefs, possibly?
Go ahead.
What if you bring over Lamar Jackson? You may not be able to afford Max Crosby. And if you was to have to trade him, he's out of the division now and Patrick Mahomes don't have to put up with him for 2 games.
I thought you were going to go the extra horny route and say that we could get Max Crosby.
Oh, no, they're never trading us Max Crosby, Steve. It ain't happening. As much as I'd love it, it ain't happening.
Yeah, but you guys get down in the comments. Let us know what you feel about it, Chiefs fans. How do you think that would affect the Chiefs and that division altogether? Also, if you're a Raiders fan, I want to know what you think about that. Would you rather have Lamar Jackson or would you rather have Fernando Mendoza? And then Ravens fans, hey, if you're watching, let us know what you think about that whole situation because your whole team is changing big time. So let us know what you think about all that. You guys are amazing. Do us a favor, hit that like button. Help this get out to more people. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 60,000 subscribers before this next season kicks off. Right now it says 80% of you guys are not subscribed. Help us out, guys. Go hit that subscribe button. Change it. Share this with a friend too. Share this with friends and let them know where to find some good Chiefs content. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.